Hello, amazing teachers. This lesson today for Doctrine and Covenants 134, this is the purpose of the lesson. This lesson is intended to help students understand the importance of religious freedom and obeying government laws. Now, government laws is, I think, much more about what Section 134 is about, but the lesson has an opportunity and a focus on religious freedom that I think is really applicable today. So with that in mind, I would propose, and again, if this would fit best for your kids, this President Nelson story about a king in Ghana, then go ahead. But my recommendation is that you go to the bottom of the lesson to the alternate beginning to the lesson. This is going to be much more active, and I think will help set the stage really well. You have the students divide up and imagine that they're starting their own government on their own uninhabited island, and that they need to think of a few laws and so forth. I think the kids will have a great time imagining this, coming up with a name for the island. It's all outlined right here in this paragraph. Then have them read Doctrine and Covenants 34 verses 1 and 2. Follow this outline here and ask these questions. Again, we don't have to reinvent the wheel where questions are concerned. I've been talking about that for the last couple of weeks. Feel free to use the questions that are right here. Ask the students and then have them read verse 6. Something else that I think is very, very useful. This section has a lot of words in it that can be very confusing. So don't forget, when you read words like in the middle of verse 6, and that to the laws all men owe respect and deference. What does deference mean? As without them peace and harmony would be supplanted. Maybe that one needs to be looked up. By anarchy, terror, human laws being instituted for the express purpose of regulating the our interests as individuals and nations. Just as you look through these verses, you may find that there are some words your kids need to look up. Take the time to do that. Help them to learn this skill. Remember, if you just press and hold on a word, then you will get an option to define. And you can hit define, and it will take you to the dictionary. If you're using mobile devices, help the kids to use that skill, especially for this section. Okay, now after you are done with this opening, which again I really like, and this opening is going to replace this, and possibly this. So it's going to get you into those first couple of verses. You may choose to use these questions to help your students to explore the verses further, or these questions may be just the right fit. After you get the kids through this activity, right above it is the Freedom of Religion supplemental learning activity. It involves a video that is about 5 minutes long, but it's really good. And again, the topic is so appropriate for today. And the church thinks so too. I'll show you a resource in just a minute. But don't forget to invite the students to explore these questions after they've watched the video. There is a section in your gospel library, and if your students have more questions on this topic, I recommend that you let them know where these resources are. If you decide to swim around in them a little bit, great, but at least help your students to know. In Books and Lessons, right here, go to the bottom of the Books and Lessons section, and you'll see a couple things. Interfaith relations is a great one, but religious freedom is where we want to be, the very last one. If you click that, it's got videos, but let me take you to the main part, religious freedom. And that video you're going to show them with the black and white line drawing is in here as well. But look at the topics that your students can read about in here. First of all, religious freedom, why it is so important for us to be aware of. What are the basics? Why it matters. fairness to all. And these are some really good ones as your students get into these kinds of conversations with fellow students or online. When rights conflict, lift where you stand. 7 keys to successful conversations about religious freedom, which includes things like freedom of speech. They have some videos down here which are really great about religious freedom in the workplace. What if you get into heated discussions? Religion in public schools. That have they're dramatized situations in which one might find themselves and how they might deal with it effectively. So this is a really great section. You should be familiar with it. I would encourage you to have your kids be familiar with it too. Then in the lesson, I take you right here to this call out box, which gets the students into small groups and has these handouts that students can discuss. Has some additional scriptures and quotes and some questions that you can use. And of course, the handouts can be found at the bottom of the lesson. You could print those out there or text or email them to students. Here, I'll show you right here. You can download these in PDFs and make them available. So enjoy this lesson. This is such a good topic for us to be focusing on in an era where there's so much conflict and so much misunderstanding and such a pushback to not even want people to share what they believe. And we should want to listen, and we should be able to speak. So have a great time with a lesson that is so timely, and I think will really help our students to be better prepared to be peacemakers.